Yo, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all the other episodes, stop by raprankings.com or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform.
Folks, this man needs no introduction. He's basically the third member of Rap Rankings.
I'm here.
I'm just kidding. It's guys, you kidding me? This man needs no introduction. For those of you listening at home who don't know this man, this is the unofficial third member of Rap Rankings. That's right. From Old Harlem, Jesse Fairfax. Call him what you want, bitch, but call him on your sidekick.
There you go.
All right.
Mel's and Mool love my shit. I come on Rap Rankings, look how many hugs I get.
This is true. At this rate, the only other guest we need to complete the group would be Charles Hamilton.
Whoa.
That was Eminem.
He would be a good Eminem Show guest.
Well, you
but
know,
a bad
the
one
funny
too.
thing is, yeah, basically. Yeah, you beat me to it.
Let's not start this again, guys. We could listen. I'm not going to do this again with him, okay?
All right, well, we can get right into it then. Do we really need to go through the rating system again?
We don't.
We should only do that for new guests.
New guests,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so, I mean, what are we here to do today? We got this track 19. It's the penultimate track, but really the last song on the Eminem Show. It's My Dad's Gone Crazy, featuring Haley Jade, his daughter.
Right.
Which is meaningful for a lot of reasons, because, well, I mean, we'll get into that. But where do y'all want to start? Because I got a few things to say. Okay.
I got things to say. I want to start by saying, brief shameless plug. I have a top 50 MCs podcast coming out soon. Eminem's number 31 of 50. Spoiler alert, Mel and Mools did not make my top 50 MCs.
Hold on, Jesse, hold on a second. All right, I just got a question for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you claim that you're doing this 50 greatest MCs.
Right.
And you're telling me Shameless Plug from Dumb High is number 1?
No, not that guy. He's a good guy. I've met him. But no,
I love
Shameless. I was plugging my podcast. Shameless Plug. I have it coming out. No.
Oh, this is a
shout
new
out
podcast.
Shameless Plug.
This is a new podcast from
coming out in a
truly.
few weeks. Right.
Wow, top 50 MCs?
Right. Now you guys didn't make the list, but if there was a top 50,
51, 52?
No, but if there was a top 50 podcast, Rap Rankings would be like in the top 5 hip hop podcasts.
Listen, I really appreciate that.
And I want to tell listeners,
where do you think Mools and Mel fall on the MCs of 54, 53, 54?
I don't know, guys. But I want to tell listeners of this show, you have to, if you go to the Spotify, no, you should just go to raprankings.com to find the show. Because if you go to the Spotify and you type in rap and then RA looking for Rap Rankings, there's another show that's going to come up. We're not going to discuss that show. It's hosted by B. Dot and Elliot Wilson. We're not going to discuss those guys.
Oh.
But those guys do not have hip hop on their back like the great Mool.
That's right. Okay. Tell them.
So you should always go to raprankings.com. Don't look for it on Spotify.
Elliot Wilson, you know what that means?
And you ain't black.
That's what that means.
Wait, he is black.
Oh,
he's half black, so he counts.
I knew that. I knew he was black. But he runs around calling himself yellow N-word, you know? I sense a bit of colorism. There's some colorism going on.
How would he be able to say that if he wasn't black?
Right.
I'll tell you, you ain't black. If you don't listen to this Top 50 MCs podcast.
This is true.
You might be black if you don't listen to it, but it's fine.
Oh, wow.
You can still be black.
Well.
Before we get to the song, do you guys know you guys know why this is the most important album you guys will ever review? Think about it for a second.
What's the
Oh,
most important album we will ever review?
Yes. Why is the Eminem Show the most important album that you guys will ever review?
Wow.
I gotta say I'm lost already because going into this I didn't have that mindset, but now I'm intrigued.
Without this album, we don't have the Curran's Back theme song.
Okay.
This is true.
Hit it, Mel.
This is true.
I mean, hit it, Moles. Guess who's back?
Okay.
Back again. Right.
Oh God.
Current's back. Tell a friend.
We couldn't have that song
Curran's
without
back,
this album.
Curran's back. Curran's back. Curran's back. And the funny thing about Curran's back, Jesse, I'm on beat every time I do it, but because Mel's playing it from his end, it's off by half a second, and he refuses to line me up.
I'm like a bad barber, bro. I'm not gonna line you up, for free.
You're like a bad
But no, that's a
barber,
good barber.
or you're like Mike Dean.
Oh man! Wow. Lots of shots already.
All right, I'm ready to discuss the song now.
Okay.
Sorry, I had other things to say. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry you guys had to sit through this album multiple times. Because I went back, I loved it when I was younger, but I went back and played it today in preparation for the show.
Yep.
It's cringy misogyny and cringier singing all through this album.
Yeah. Interesting.
No,
Well, by this point because we do these guest spots first. By this point, I probably discussed some of this in the larger review. So you're not really off base there. Now I enjoy the album, but I completely get it because a lot of
Trick can put me on a no-fly zone list, but my dogs all bark like wolf is one of the worst lines ever. Someone in D12
So I
said my
wasn't the
dogs
only one
all
to
bark
notice
like
that.
wolf. Huh?
Because that's in my notes. I noticed
man.
that.
So that's it.
Jesse, I gotta tell you, you can say what you want about that song. Bizarre has one of the album stealing verses, if you ask me.
Horrible song. Horrible song.
I love it.
That's
Sing
what
for the
happens
moment.
when the music stops.
Sing for the moment, 9 for me. Till I claps, 10 for me. Then we can.
9.
Now we can get to the.
I gave
song
Sing
of the day.
for a Moment a 6.
Oh man, Sing for the moment.
Wait, no, you did. You did?
Yep.
No.
Listen
See, this
to
is
the-
news to me because we haven't done that part of the review. You gave it a
Listen to
6.
listen to the
Oh,
show,
sorry.
bro.
We didn't do that part yet.
I did it in my head.
I can't read minds, man. You gave that song a 6?
Yep.
Without
Okay,
Sing
see.
for the moment, we don't have Kanye West when he said,
Thank God.
"She's nothing
Thank
for
God.
you. She
That's-
might not be
listen.
nothing to you, but she's a shit to me." That probably came from Eminem. We're nothing to you, but we're the fucking shit in their eyes.
Well, Stronger
Sing for the moment.
sucks too.
I'm talking about number 1 from the Pharrell
Oh,
album.
number 1, Pharrell. Yeah, well, I like that
See,
record. I'm not gonna.
You don't even know what Kanye song to diss. Look at this guy. Look, we all hate him right now. True, but come on, you got to get the facts straight.
I ain't got nothing straight. All right, all I gotta say is "Sing for the Moment."
Whoa!
It should be called 6 for the Moment
There was great
It's a-
rapping on that song.
because it's a 6 for the moment.
That second
You know
verse is
what? I will-
incredible.
Jesse, I'll make sure to argue him against him when we get there because I gave that song
Gotcha.
an 8. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. But yeah, we're here to do My Dad's Gone Crazy.
My dad's going crazy.
So yeah, did you want to start off?
My co-host's gone crazy.
Nah, you're the nut on this show. We know this.
You gave Drunken Hot Girls a 7.
I
just
know
get
what
to
I
say
gave
that.
drunken hot girls, bro, because sometimes they need to be spoken on. The drunk and hot girls.
I'm ready to discuss the song.
I'm ready too.
Jesse,
8 out of 10.
Woo-hoo.
8
Okay.
plus.
Oh wow. So why does this always happen? All right, well I gave it a 7+.
That's not bad.
Well, it's not, but I feel like I'm always like the guy when we have a guest on. I'm always like underselling the song.
Yeah, because you're 14 years old and it doesn't have a Joyner Lucas verse on it.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. You know I don't like that guy. Don't do that. You know what? No,
I don't keep a list of everyone you like and everyone you don't like.
Motherfucker!
Why would I
Shut
keep
up,
a list of
Lucas.
everyone you like and everyone you don't like? I'm just saying things.
Anyway, my dad's going crazy. Okay, it
I'm
seems
sorry
like
to hear
I like.
that.
It seems like I like the song the least, even though I like it. So I mean, I can lead off if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
So yeah, it's a strong 7 for me. I guess I'll start here. So correct me if you think I'm off here, but I think it's one of the most vulgar songs on the album, which is saying
No
something.
way.
Oh, you disagree?
There's a STD song. There's a song about beating
Oh,
up
I mean,
women.
that's true. You know why I didn't think about that? Because I gave that song a 6, and I like to act like
And
it
here's the
doesn't
thing.
exist.
I think that the vulgarity on this song is often tongue-in-cheek, whereas some of the other vulgarity on this album sometimes is coming from more of a real place.
True, tongue in cheek or not, earnest or not, it's here, and I think that's saying something because his daughter's on it, and knowing Eminem, that's probably intentional. I feel like,
Well, Mel, you little motherfucker, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, then don't say nothing.
what are you talking about? I got nice things to. This is where I'm starting the conversation. I noticed, it felt more vulgar in comparison to other things. But I feel like he ramped it up to piss people off even further because he has his daughter on the song. And plus
Fuck
he has to
that
play
shit,
up that
bitch.
he's going
Eat a
crazy.
motherfucking prick, chew on a dick, and lick a million motherfucking cocks per
Yeah,
second.
all that,
I'd
you
rather
know?
put out a motherfucking gospel record.
Gospel record.
I'd rather be a pussy whip bitch, eat pussy, and have pussy lips glued to my face with a clip ringing my nose, and quit giving my flows. Quit giving me my MO. Come
We
on,
knew what
bro.
Moles grew up on, clearly. Yeah, I mean, this is a song I'd heard before. I've heard this album before, thankfully. I feel like this is the first time this season.
On an
since,
album with such little Slim Shady-esque records, don't you feel like this is kind of a breath of fresh air?
Well, I never said it was bad. I'm just noticing it. You didn't even let me finish. This isn't a bad thing that it's vulgar. I just noticed that I feel like he ramped it up. And like I was about to say, he's gone crazy. So he has to play that up a bit.
Yeah,
Now,
thank you. Okay, fair enough.
Musically, this beat sounds like a Looney Tunes Halloween party. It's
Who
like
did this
I can
one,
just
Dr.
see.
Dre?
That was Dre.
Produced by Dre, right?
Yep.
Yeah, produced by Dre. I can just I picture Bugs Bunny causing mischief, Daffy and Elmer being tormented. You know the deal. That's what this music sounds like to me until the third verse, but we're getting there.
Right.
So the cool thing about this song is that it kind of encompasses the whole album at once, which is why it was what makes it fitting as an outro to me, because the first and second verses kind of have the humor and the rage and the anger that's found on the rest of the album, where the third verse has more humanity and awareness, a la Sing for the Moment or Haley's song. So we have all of the different themes and moods of the album in this one song. So it really works as an outro in that regard. And like I was saying, in this third verse, when you got him ramping up the humanity and awareness, the beat sort of changes to match that. It's less mischief, gets more dramatic, more somber. And there's similar ground covered, of course, with this sort of being like a conclusion of a paper. It's the outro, so he covers everything that he already covered in the album, but he's also acknowledged that he's done that. In this third verse, not to just skip ahead to the third verse, but he mentions I can make you basically think and laugh and cry and take you by for all this in the same line, the same song, the same verse, the same album. And that's true. He made me cry 3 times on this album. Sing for the Moment, Cleaning Out My Closet, and Haley's song.
You cried to an Eminem album?
Right? That's crazy, right? I was not expecting that.
You a bozo, and that's on me.
Wow.
You a bozo.
Hold on, Jesse.
That's on me.
I cried to
I'm just
Haley's
being
song.
honest, man.
I did. I cried to
Oh,
Haley's
you're a
song.
bozo too.
We both.
I didn't cry to the album. Bro. I cried to Haley's song.
Back in the day,
I'll
or
own that.
recently?
3 days ago, bro.
Recently,
Oh, man.
yesterday.
I don't even think
During,
I
my
cried to it
fifth
back
listen
in the
of
day.
album.
Oh man, I've never been that affected by an Eminem song.
Well, you know what? I wasn't Well, here's the thing. I knew that in the past, the only Eminem song I think I'd ever cried to was Cleaning Out My Closet for different reasons. But I wasn't expecting to cry to it in revisiting this album, but I did. Now, it wasn't
funny is-
sobbing. It was just like I kind of
cleaning
got
out my
teary-eyed.
closet doesn't get me emotionally. Sing for the Moment doesn't get me emotionally. Haley's song, the singing actually used to, just the general like sentiment and the singing actually used to get me not like crying, but it used to make me somewhat emotional. But it was this time around where like I actually cried listening to his verse. But he's talking about going through his divorce and some issues that he felt, and
Well, that's not the part I cried about. It was really the first two verses, the singing, the tender moments.
Right, and that's what used to get me on that song. That's what, and I'm not saying it doesn't anymore, but as like a grown man listening to this guy at the end of Haley's song, I'm thinking like, oh man, like I can relate to more of the shit that he's saying now than I did when I was 14. But it's still like, not really, I don't think like crying to an Eminem album, because the rest of the album doesn't get that out of me. This is more of an album that like, when I think the Eminem Show, I think, okay, this is an album that you'd listen to. Like I listened to it a lot as a teenager. I listened to it trying to like get off steam, basically. Like when I'm pissed off, it's like,
well, you and every other white youth.
Yeah, for sure. So, there's this, and then there's All Eyes on Me, and I feel like in a lot of ways they have the same energy to them. Now, All Eyes on Me doesn't have silly songs like Without Me on it, but on songs like,
it does have
Soldier.
What's Your Phone Number?
Well, yeah, but it's, like the spirit of records like Soldier and Square Dance and stuff like that, to me, are what I like. Till I Collapse. These are the records that I kind of like feel that this album embodies. When I think about it, it's like, all right, this is the record where like he's letting off a lot of steam. He's getting personal. He's kind of not doing the Slim Shady gimmick nearly as much. And, I think at the time, especially, I don't know how you felt about it, Jesse, but I thought it was really a welcome change of pace for him.
I loved the album back in the day. It hasn't aged so well for me. I played it this morning and I was like, oh my god, like almost like, what was I thinking for liking a lot of this? I like maybe half of the album now.
Okay.
But yeah.
I mean, I like 13 songs on here.
I definitely don't like that many. Not for me.
I'll own being a bozo, because here's the thing. Before I started it, if you would have told me I'm about to cry to an Eminem album, I would have pointed and laughed at myself. Like this dude crying to Eminem albums in 2020. I wasn't, but if it did, it did. I won't run from it. There were three distinct moments. Pretty much the first 2/3 of Haley's song, the last verse of Sing for the Moment, and like the beginning notes of Cleaning Out My Closet. The song doesn't really make me cry. It's just the memories associated with the song Cleaning Out My Closet. But
gotcha.
Anyway, back to my dad's going crazy. He mentions that, and I'm like, well, I can't challenge you because your songs did make me cry, Eminem. Now, he's calling himself a genius at work. That's subjective, but I see what he's getting at here.
But he says he's a genius at work, which to him isn't work. So it's easy to misinterpret it at first.
Yeah, but he goes on, because when I speak, it's tongue in cheek, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's bordering on, like, you have to have a certain level of intelligence to see what I'm doing on these records of mine.
He was the original J. Cole?
Perhaps. I don't know. Maybe, but I'll give him some credit, though. I mean, there's a certain level of dexterity he navigates things with on here. Now, it doesn't hold up to 2020 standards at all, but he does acknowledge his own shortcomings and his blind spots in terms of his way of speaking about things. I mean, there's a great final line on this very song. I don't blame you. I wouldn't let Haley listen to me neither.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that's pretty much the gist of it. Parents are pissed, but the kids love it. 9mm heaters stashed with meat cleavers. I don't blame you. I wouldn't let Haley listen to me neither, But that whole verse is like the mission statement of the whole album, and he's wrapping up the album. Like, it's a great final verse to the album, I think. And, I love him when he's on his Slim Shady shit on the first two verses.
Yeah,
You
I
know
mean,
how he
definitely
opens
is.
up
Like
that
I
second
said,
verse, like, you know, my mama always told me. Like,
Ranning and codeine and yeah, great. I mean, like I said, that the first two verses are mostly like the humor and the anger that we find on the rest of the album. I mean, when I say the vulgarity's ramped up, he does the whole little extended bit about him and Dre, you know, smashing with no condoms. And I'm just like, yo, this is a crazy thing to be talking about on a song with your daughter. But hey, you know, like that's
well,
the
Eminem
point.
did say in an interview she wasn't in the studio for
Well,
the
right.
actual
No, I assume she wasn't in the
recording of the
studio.
record, but she
Right.
actually went and did that on the mic in the studio, and he took it and made the song out of it, and then, you know, had her
I gotta
come
say,
in and
my
do other
favorite
stuff.
Haley Jade moment in the song is her doing the chainsaw noise.
That,
Exactly.
That's I love that.
It was a running. It was like a bit, and she just fully committed.
She
Like
did.
whatever
She did.
whatever
Shout
my
out
dad.
to-
She was like 5 or 6 at the time. Whatever my dad wanted me to do, I'm going along.
You know, like most kids, which I think is a testament to his parenting, because kids will tell the truth, bro. Like if they don't love their parents, you can see it. Like she was down to do this because clearly she loved her dad and had no problem with him. You know. So, like, I know that this is something I would have done for my dad, because, like, not that my dad... Funny thing, though, mentioning my dad, he played me this song when I was,
really?
he did. When I was, 8 or 9, under, the way he framed it was like, yo, there's this funny song where, Eminem has his daughter on there, and he played it because, we were riding around in the car together, and he's like, I'm your dad, this is a song, my dad's going crazy, it's funny. Now, to his credit, I'm pretty sure it was the censored version of this song. And I remember him saying something after it went off to the effect of okay, well, maybe it wasn't as funny as I remember it, but but he was he wanted to play it for me because it was a father-centric song, and it was just him and I hanging out on a road trip. But yeah, to me, it's clear that her presence on this song is a testament to Eminem being as good of a father as he claims he is. I'm pretty sure. I gotta say, I got Haley J's Instagram pulled up right now as we speak.
Whoa,
No, calm down. It's not like that.
She's 24 now, Moles. It's legal.
Well, not only that, but I know. Listen, I'm not gonna make any jokes and any crude.
MGK is gonna stand for Melvin Gunn
Mel gets
Kelly,
killed.
Okay, Mel gets killed.
No, I had it pulled up because she's on the song, but I'll say she looks like a very well-adjusted young woman. I think Eminem did a good job raising her.
I was not expecting
from how it looks.
I was not expecting you to say that.
Yeah, that's because you think the worst of me.
I don't think the worst of you.
Well, you should, because I'm terrible. But no, yeah, she looks great. She looks like
all right. That's enough.
I'm just, bro. She's
she looks
she's
well
not
adjusted.
wilding. She looks well adjusted. If I saw this Instagram page, I wouldn't think she was Eminem's daughter. I wouldn't think she just looks like a regular person. So yeah. Anyway, so she's on here. I love her chainsaw moment, and yeah, the first and second verses. He's doing the whole thing with Dr. Dre. I really like the sequence of, yeah, to show you there ain't nothing I could take this chainsaw to. Fucking brains, brawn, and brass balls. I cut them off and got them pickled in bronze in a glass jar. Just manic, wacky Eminem-ness. I love it, And this is back when he used to know how to slow down and not flow us to death.
He would rein in the technicality, but still.
Yeah, it's we know you're a technically gifted rapper, but he used to know how to deploy it, Now it's just hey, look at me, I can rap a bunch of syllables and, cram a bunch of, but it's back then he knew when to pick and choose the spots.
He didn't start doing that thing that he does now until the Over freestyle. Do you remember that?
I don't think I've heard the Over freestyle.
He did a freestyle over by Drake in 2010, and it was before Recovery dropped, and it was the first time I ever heard him rap fast like that, and I was like, oh no. And he was doing the yelling fast rapping. It was something new, and it wasn't. News not always good, guys.
Yeah.
Jesse, I was going to ask you something.
Sure.
So between the Marshall Mathers LP and the Eminem Show, I think we're both in New York at this time, right?
Yes.
We both lived through 9/11. A lot of 9/11
No, Marshall
references on
Mathers.
this.
Marshall Mathers LP. I was in college in Florida.
Oh, okay.
9/11. I was in college in Florida.
So were you back in New York for this album?
For the Eminem Show, I think I was still down south. Yeah, 2002. Okay. Yeah, I came home 2003.
So, I was just going to ask you, because you still, ultimately, at the end of the day, you were a New Yorker, even though you weren't in New York at that very time, of the attacks. Of course, you're from Old Harlem.
I am.
So how do you think that, like, 9/11 impacted? Do you think Eminem started to tone down the Slim Shadiness and started to get more political, more introspective, more serious, making more records like The Way I Am and things like that on this album as a result of 9/11? Do you think that is, or do you think that this record was always destined to sort of turn into that more confessional album for him?
I don't know, but I do know that Shady Records was 80 seconds away from the towers.
Yep, okay. Some cowards fuck with the wrong building. They meant to hit ours.
There you go. I don't know. I never thought about that. I know that, a lot of his material was based at, responding to politicians. I think Bush was in office and Bush probably wasn't a fan. He addressed Bush like on the next album. When am I going to come to my good senses? Probably the day Bush comes to my defenses. I don't really know if he toned it down, in response to 9/11 in particular. I just think that, everything going on in the news combined with just all the heat he was catching, he was just, firing back on all cylinders. But what I wanted to say was this song, for me, I'm a big comedy fan, and for me, this song represented like the birth of a new kind of archetype. Like all of the singles were always silly and goofy, but this song was like when he kind of dipped his toes into like the character, I would say, that would appear on a lot of Encore, where he was like just really out of his mind. And Encore is an album that I am an apologist for. A lot of people don't like that album, but I like the crazier songs on that album. My first single, Rain Man, Ass Like That. Like this song was like, my dad's going crazy was like where that kind of like started to me. Like I don't remember him being I remember him being kind of silly. I don't remember him like just going into this new area where it was just like, I'm just going to say whatever. And, I'm just going to be as crazy as possible, on a song.
Yeah,
before this song.
I could say perhaps it left like the silly horrorcore-ness, and now it's just kind of like zany,
right?
Psychopath. Like I will just say anything,
right?
Do anything. It's not. It's less violent and more zany.
And I'm a fan of all things zany.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm a fan of a lot of absurd things. Like I like absurdity, and Eminem traffics in that from time to time, and I appreciate that. I know a lot of people don't like that from him, but I mean, it's kind of crazy because I feel like that's how he all initially touched our hearts. It's like most people heard about him from "Hi, my name is," which is a funny record, So it's like, to not appreciate that aspect of him is kind of strange to me, That is, if you consider yourself a fan, or did at one point in time, and But this record, it's a strong 7 for me. I like it. It's not in the territory where it's like I like it a lot or I love it or it's one of the greatest songs of all time.
It's up there among my favorite Eminem songs. Probably not in the top 10. Probably somewhere in the top 20. Maybe 15 to 20 range.
It's top 10 for me.
And you gave this an 8?
8+. Yeah, 8+.
8+. Huh.
This is an older
Wow.
reference. Mel, are you familiar with Penelope Pitstop?
Penelope Pitstop.
It's a cartoon character. Moles?
No, I can't.
Wacky
I feel
Races?
like I feel like I am. What's the show?
Wacky Races?
It was an old cartoon called
I know
Wacky
Wacky
Races.
Races. Yeah, it's like with the villain guy with the mustache who's driving
Right,
the
and
car.
like all of the cartoon characters were like just it was like an Avengers kind of thing where like all of them came together and they were like all racing against each other. But anyway, Penelope Pitstop, she was like this southern woman character, and it very much reminded me of Haley Jade in the beginning.
She has
Please help him. Like if you guys look up Penelope Pitstop, I'm sure it's on YouTube or something.
I've definitely seen this show because I have a photo saved of this like villainous mustache man.
Right.
Does he wear like a purple hat?
Yes.
He looks
Okay.
like Wario-esque. I know the
Yeah.
show. I'm just not
Yeah.
familiar with like the character names and stuff. I used to see the show on Cartoon Network sometimes.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Jesse, by the way, you know I'm not a fan of this guy, but we are discussing a white rapper, so I figured I'd let you know I'm not a fan of the man's music. It's been well documented, going back to the Throwback Thursdays episode about Elucid in 2016.
Oh, Dickie?
But I just gotta say, can somebody suck me?
Oh, he's amazing.
I watched
amazing.
that,
What in
Dave.
the world?
It's from that Dave. You gotta watch that Dave, bro.
I
It's funny
hate
shit.
Freaky Friday. I hate Earth, but he's a really good
Earth
rapper.
Earth is.
I played it once and I was like, "What the hell is this?"
I don't know. It's trying to do something that's not in his wheelhouse, is what it is. But
I'm
I
glad.
gotta say that show, his music's trash to me. But that Save Money song is great, and that show is fucking funny.
Mel, did you ever see Dave?
I'm still on I still gotta watch it. I've now
Man,
heard recommendations from
It's
everyone,
good.
just about.
It's
Yeah,
good,
I've
I'm a
heard.
fan
I
of
kind of
it.
can't avoid it now. You know, like people I respect have all told
I'm not.
me it's
Listen,
good.
Jesse's a fan. I'm not a fan, but we both say the show is good, folks. Listen to Dave, but first listen to Rap Rankings.
Well, I would
Right,
say
watch
watch
Dave.
Dave, but
Nah,
first
listen
watch
to it. Listen-
Atlanta because
listen to-
Atlanta was
listen to
setting
Dave.
the stage for Dave.
You got to listen to Dave. You got to listen to it. You can't spend all your time watching things; it'll hurt your eyes.
Hot take: Dave
What?
might be better than Atlanta.
Wow.
Might.
Okay, he said might. He said might, folks.
I could be a prisoner of the moment. I haven't watched Atlanta in a while.
So
Now,
before you
here's
try
what
to
I'll
hit him
say.
with the
Here's
you
what I'll
ain't
say
black,
about Atlanta.
you know.
Okay, I listen. I'm one of these guys. I get around to stuff in my time, not when the timeline says it's time to watch something. So I haven't seen season 2 of Atlanta yet. I've only seen season 1. Great show, and I've seen season 1 of Dave. I think that's all there is right now. But
Right.
they're different shows. Dave is a comedy show with dramatic undertones, and to me, Atlanta is a drama with comedic undertones.
Right.
That's the biggest difference to me.
Dave,
Atlanta's a better show in the sense of like it has better cinematography, it's better directed, it's better acted. It like is I guess like more emotionally engrossing, but Dave is a funnier show.
Dave does not have a Teddy Perkins episode. I don't know if you've heard about Teddy Perkins.
I've heard about the Teddy Perkins episode, yes.
Dave doesn't have one of those. No show should have one of those. And Taco is one of the worst rappers ever. Not rapper, actors ever.
I didn't think he was that bad, to be honest
Oh,
with
he
you.
was
I thought he
awful.
was decent.
Like he looked like he didn't want to be there ever.
Here's what I'll say about Taco. All right, all I remember him is that little kid from Odd Future. So I saw him
Right.
like, oh, he's grown up to be like a nice, handsome young man. It seems like. That's all I have to say.
His looks have nothing to do with his acting skills.
No, acting. All acting is bad. But I watch wrestling, so
He's
You gotta
he
work
looks
with
like
me
he
here.
doesn't want to be on the show.
no one wants to be on any show at this point. If you think about it,
His
I
sister
don't
is a
know.
talent.
I kind of want to be on Hot Ones still.
you don't want to be on Hot Ones, Mel.
I do actually.
You don't want to be on there.
Yes, I do. I want to eat increasingly spicier hot wings and discuss my life because I'm a narcissist.
You don't want to talk to that guy. That guy's a weirdo.
No, he's all right. He's probably one of the only all right guys there.
He's a friggin' weirdo. His bald head, always asking questions. Stop asking people so much questions. Start discussing issues.
So listen. All right, let me correct this now because you just said something. It's a pet peeve. This has nothing to do with my dad's going crazy, folks. There are two words in the English language. There's much, and then there's many. You use them in two separate situations. Okay, you know.
This motherfucker English teacher Mel over here, fucking.
You know who I am. You know what it is.
Mel, fucking no name Mel over here. Okay.
So many questions.
I don't give a damn what he does. I was eating sauce.
What?
I made a mistake with my vernacular because I was eating sauce, hot sauce. That's why you shouldn't ask people questions when they're eating a hot and hotter sauces.
You made your case against hot ones as a concept.
And the man himself. He has many, many people who are saying things about him. Not the best things that I've heard.
I haven't heard anything about, what's his name, Chris Evans? Or is that,
no, that's an
Captain
actor,
America?
Bro. That's an actor.
Whatever his name is.
They're
the
trying
bald
to
man
confuse
from
you.
Hot Ones.
They're trying to confuse you. They're putting all these people out there. They all look the same. Their names are so similar. You know? This man says Taco's a bad actor. Bro, Taco's a better actor than freaking... The other man, the bald man from the hot sauce.
You're struggling.
From the hot sauce commercial, whatever it's called. Hot One.
Oh, God. He's not an actor. Anyway.
He is an actor. He's not who he depicts himself to be.
All right, Jay-Z. This record, My Dad's Going Crazy, I think it more than works as a conclusion to this album. He frames it like any good writer would. You know, he sets up his thesis sort of at the beginning with white America, addresses where he's currently at in life, and then he talks about a bunch of different things. And on this final track, he readdresses all of it. I'll say something now that I remember. You had asked Jesse if you thought like 9/11 affected anything. You like, you know,
well, it obviously affected some of the lyrical content, but I'm just wondering if it was.
Well, I was gonna say, you know, I think.
I was just saying, does his shift away from the Slim Shady persona on this album, was that a decision as a result of that?
I don't think so. I think you asked, like, was this always destiny? I think yes, because you can hear on this album, he's sick of the industry. As far as, like, the reflective, you know, like, more human, introspective Eminem that we get on here, I think it's a result of him already being sick of being one of the biggest rappers on the planet and hating all of the attention and fame that comes with that. Right. Like, you got Say Goodbye to Hollywood on this very same album, bro. I think this was destiny. It's like, he's the kind of guy who strikes me as, you know, he's not with the BS, you know, even though he's a very funny guy. It's like by his third album, he's already sick of it.
He's not, from all indications, he's not Hollywood, down to the fact that when he was going through treatment and trying to get sober, he was going to regular AA meetings in Detroit. He wasn't going to no special celebrity meetings in LA or anything like that. Like, he's really like a very, like, to this day, despite all of his success, very regular guy, a very like grounded person. So I could see him, you know, not liking the fakeness of the industry and the idea of trying to keep up appearances and move with the times and do all this other stuff, you know?
Yeah, I completely get it. Like, I can hear it on many songs explicitly, and, you know, the frustration bubbling underneath. It's no surprise to me that the next album was Encore. You know, and then
which is basically just a big fuck you to everything, to the industry, to
he was burnt out, bro, and I get it. You know, like, he's getting attacked on all fronts. He's in beefs. He's in domestic beefs. He's like, you know, he's tired, man. He seemed like a tired guy, you know. So to your question, even though you were asking Jesse, yeah, I think this was just destiny. He would have been tired. He would have changed up his content away from Slim Shady to more, you know, revealing content, just by nature of being a grounded man thrusted into the craziness
and all the life
Hollywood.
Circumstances that he was dealing with as we go in the aforementioned, you know, Say Goodbye to Hollywood, Soldier, things like that.
You know, yeah.
Dealing with that court case and everything like that. So,
yeah, this record, I gotta say, when I first heard it, when my dad played it for me, I was kind of I was kind of confused, mainly because I was listening to it from the perspective of, oh, my dad says this is funny, and his daughter's on it. So I was really like listening for his daughter and for the funny parts, but given that it was the censored version, you barely hear anything. So I was like, I mean, all right, you know, like, and that's why my dad was like, well, it was, I think he probably had 2 copies of the album, like a censored version and an explicit version for himself.
Damn, what a G. You know, he's like,
well, hey.
He heard it, he knew it was fucking funny, but he had to play you the kid friendly version.
Yeah, good parenting.
Good parenting, you know, your dad didn't go crazy after all. And, you know, but he had to admit to you, like, at the end, like, hearing it censored, it's like, maybe it's not that funny, but, you know.
Right. I mean, and even at that age, I wouldn't have been able to catch the sexually charged homoerotic humor and the various other things about female genitalia. And yeah, so... Yeah, that's the record, man. It's a great album ender. It's absurd, it's wacky, it's zany, and I appreciate that, like Jesse stated. And yeah, listen, people probably got mad about him throwing his daughter on here, but that's what Eminem does.
Yeah, he makes you mad.
Yeah. And whether you think it's genius or not is, you know, that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's for you. You can think whatever you want, but it is intentional, and it's for a purpose. So,
as soon as she came on the record, I was like, I'm all the way in. My first time hearing it.
And this one has not aged poorly to you at all, Jesse.
It's not as funny as when I first heard it, but it hasn't aged poorly, no.
Okay, so I mean, I think for me too, I think, you know, over time, to me, when this album came out, I was 15, so the humor is I'm right on time with this album. This album is what I needed at the time.
Well, you know, Jesse, I mean, if you peep the Ludacris review in 2002, I wasn't listening to rap music in album form. All my rap was coming from the radio. I wouldn't hear this album until 2010, the summer of 2010. I can tell you why I remember this, because I was in the middle of a Charles Hamilton binge at my mom's house, and I was in her back room, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to the Eminem Show, because Charles had been talking about Eminem with increased frequency for some reason at that period. So I'm like, I'm going to actually listen to his albums now.
The whole Interscope thing, probably.
It was a lot. It was a lot to that.
Jimmy Iovine, Sushi, and The Color Pink.
Yeah, you know, so my first time hearing the Eminem Show was 10 years ago, front to back. So I can't really comment as far as like aging well or not. I think I like the album more now than I did then.
10 years ago, you listened to Charles Hamilton, so I think you could decide on something if 10 years ago ages well or not.
Well, sure, but I just mean in terms of like the moment it came out. I wasn't here to consume the Eminem Show in 2002. I heard it 8 years later. And now 10 years after that first listening, I can say I actually think I enjoy the album more now than when I first heard it in 2010.
Maybe not
and why?
Such of a
probably
hot take.
Because
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, why do I enjoy it? Well, probably because I was still too locked into being a Charles Hamilton stan. So, you know, it was just really curiosity. I wasn't diving into it like I did.
Hamilton.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hot take. The Pink
Please.
Lava Lamp is better than the Eminem Show.
Fuck out of here, bro.
Charles Hamilton.
Get the fuck out of here, you motherfucker.
No, I won't hit him with that. I won't hit him with that. He's our guest. He's allowed to have
I'll put music
opinions.
and Shine
the
up
unofficial
against
third
any
member.
2 songs on that
He
album.
is the unofficial third member of Rab. All right?
I'll put music and Shining up against any 2 songs on the Eminem Show.
Shining.
I know he stole a beat from Black Spade.
The what's the word I'm looking for? The incredulity in your voices. You say shining.
I am
very
Seinfeld-esque by this. I am just
Shining is a 10 out of 10. No, I'm stretching. I'm reaching. Sorry, 9+ out of 10.
9+. Oh shit. Yo, what do you give the Black Spade song?
I don't think there was a song recorded to that.
Okay,
It was just a beat.
You got off easy on that one.
All right.
Now, at the
If
moment
anyone's
when I
listening
thought,
to this,
at the moment when I thought Charles Hamilton produced that song, it was a 10 out of 10. But the fact that he stole the beat
All
drops
right.
it to a 9+.
I really do make an effort to not talk about this man on the show for a lot of reasons. And
But we're
they're
probably
not- they're
like,
not
we're probably
nefarious
like
reasons.
4 hours deep into an Eminem review right now, so we might as well.
Right.
I mean, if anyone's still listening,
I just want to say, if we're going to be on this topic, Jesse, I'll say this. I think I like every record on the Pink Lava Lamp except for Satellite. I always skipped away. Now, I don't rate his music for a lot of reasons. But I'll say just looking at the track list,
I'm
and
breaking out
taking
in
my
hives
entire
right now.
history with this album, I
I'm
think
breaking out in hives.
my entire history with this album, I'll say I've liked every song except for Satellite, and I would skip Let Me Live a lot. I like Let Me Live, but I would always skip it. So maybe I didn't. Maybe it's a 6+ for me. But I haven't listened to it recently. I don't listen to him.
Wait, what's the song with Young Nate on there?
You talking about Live Life to the Fullest?
You're gonna put.
Go ahead, live life to the fullest.
Jesus Christ.
Live life to the. Yeah, you don't like that song?
I don't like the Pink Lava Lamp at
I might not
all.
like that song anymore. I haven't
I
listened
like
to it recently.
music and Loser, and that's about it.
If you don't like Voices, you need to be slapped.
I don't like Voices. I've never liked Voices, and the only voices I like are I got voices in my head. They talk
Get out
to
of
me.
here. Get out of here.
So aside from him stealing the beat, Shining isn't a good song to you?
I don't like that album, Jesse. And the problem is that when I finally heard Charles Hamilton for the first time, he was in the middle of the Hamiltonization process. And I think the beats and
That was
his
my
rapping
introduction.
had already... His beats and rapping had already evolved to the point that when he put out the Pink Lava Lamp, that was a project that had been recorded, 2 years earlier, Mel?
Yeah.
So the beats, the rapping, everything felt like a step backwards from the stuff he was already putting out. So I was like, I'm not really fucking with this. And everyone just decided it was a classic.
It's not a classic.
But be careful with everyone. Everyone that was already a fan of his.
And yeah, everyone, all his fan base, his, star chasers, if you will.
Well, that was my first project of his, I believe. And then I worked backwards, which was technically forwards with the Hamiltonization process.
Okay, mine was It's Charles Hamilton was my first project.
Wow.
The one with Sonic the Hedgehog with the Illmatic font on it. And it opened up with Charles over
let's not
a,
go too deep down this rabbit hole.
It opened up with Charles over a DJ Premier beat. Guys, all right, listen, I was in the cult too. I just don't incessantly bring the man up at every point I can, like Mel does with Drake and Charles.
No.
Get the fuck out of here, you motherfucker!
Don't do that.
He has at least one brilliant hook to a song. And it was advertising his website. CharlesHamilton.blogspot.com. TheAmyRose.blogspot.com.
Bars, nigga! You know nothing about that!
You can't get better than that.
CharlesHamilton.blogspot.com. TheAmyRose.blogspot.com. CharlesHamilton.blogspot.com. I shut the game down.
There you go.
I think somewhere in that hook he threw in "I am not Charles." Let's not do this. Let's not.
You forgot myspace.com/Hamilton's music. I am not Charles.
I am not Charles. That's what it is. See,
There
look
you
at
go.
you. Look at you. There you go. There you go.
I got
Feed
hip
into
hop
it.
on my back, bro. Even when some of the things that are on my back really shouldn't be on my back, and they should get off my back so I can continue to carry less heavy load. But of course, everyone remains on my back, regardless of the fact that they ain't making no money anymore. Nobody's even listening to them anymore. But I still got them on my back, and that's the problem.
Yeah. You guys give this song an 8. I give it a
No.
strong 7.
I give this song an 8+, my
8
friend.
plus for Moles,
almost
a
an
8
9.
from Jesse, and a 7+ for me. If you average all those together, what's that? Probably like an 8 minus, or 8, a flat 8, something,
A flat 8.
Yeah. So listen, we like the song a lot between all three of us. I mean, look, it's a good song. So yeah, that's all I got about my. I feel like we talk is like maybe 25% my dad's going crazy, and then the rest is Charles and.
You can't help yourself.
It's all about the rest.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I was obliging our guests. All right. When Jesse comes through the spot, we oblige that man because he's a legend.
There you go.
Well, I think I already announced it, but in case I haven't, Jesse's booked for the next 5 seasons, folks.
I'll be here.
He'll be here. He's
anything else to do.
If any of y'all watch that daggone Eric Andre show, he's like Hannibal Buress on the couch, on the chair. He's just, he's always there. He's there,
But not as confused as Hannibal Buress is on that show.
Right. Exactly.
Only confused about one thing, that the Pink Lava Lamp is better than the Grammy Award-winning Eminem Show.
Listen,
I said I'm not as confused. Hannibal Buress is always confused.
Yeah, you're not confused. He's always confused. And Mools, you're the one confused because listen, since when did Grammy? We know about that committee.
And you ain't black.
Okay, they don't count. So listen, Grammys, they're nice and all, but that's political. All right.
Yeah, okay. Like the man behind the Pink Lava Lamp isn't obsessed with Grammys for some reason.
He hasn't been obsessed with those since like 2009. Don't make me share this information on air.
This is the mainline show too. We're not even on the paywall.
Oh my god! All right.
You know what won the 2019 Rap Album of the Year, Moles?
If I had to guess, 2019. You say?
Not this year's, but last year's.
Okay. All right. Hold on a second.
Don't look it up.
No, I'm not looking it up. I swear. I'm looking at my ratings for that year, and I'm gonna see what I think. This is the rap album, right, of the year?
Yes.
Okay, Von P. City for Sale.
No, unfortunately. An album that was
What
nowhere
was
near as good. Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy.
Oh my god, that piece of trash, that album?
That should kill your Grammys equal quality music argument.
Okay, well, the Pink Lava Lamp is definitely better than Invasion of Privacy.
How did we get here? I was not expecting during this review to hear the sentence, "The Pink Lava Lamp is better than Invasion of Privacy."
Right. If anything, you'd expected to hear it on last week's review, Nicki Minaj Queen.
True. Very true. But yeah, I've got nothing else. I don't know. Anybody else got anything?
Well, I'm just hanging.
Yeah.
Word.
I don't have bad intentions like the hot sauce man, so I can just hang around, ask people questions, and not feel bad about it because I'm not messing with their heads, not melting their brainwaves.
I don't like Complex. I don't like them, but that's the one good thing that they've done.
Listen, he's a friend of mine. Okay, he was on the Playboy Cardi episode, but it's not something that I like to all the time endorse.
Man, not that. See, that's a deep cut. The audience, they don't even know what you're talking about. The rapper Van Buren, folks, used to be known as Complex the MC.
Oh.
So that was the joke there.
I have a joke.
That was the joke.
That I just came up with this, so it's not my best work. I'm telling you in advance.
Well, sometimes when people say it's not their best work, it ends up being their best work, i.e. some of the songs Mel has sent me over the years.
But Mel, if you were on Hot Ones smoking what would it be called?
If I was on Hot Ones smoking weed, Pot Ones?
No. Ganja burn, ganja burn, ganja burn. It was a horrible joke.
I gotta load that one back in. I gotta load that back in. just. Ganja burn, ganja burn, ganja burn.
I never played Queen, but I only know that song because
it's a good song.
Because of the Joe Budden
Jesse,
thing.
By the time you're finished with our Queen episode, I have a bold prediction. Not only are you going to want to hear Queen, you're going to love it.
No way.
Love is a strong
I'm not a fan of that woman.
Listen, who is?
I like some of her verses, but no, I listened to
What
the
do you
Pink
mean?
Print. I think that was.
Weren't you just calling yourself like the King Barb last week?
Me
No, I
never.
called myself a barb.
Oh,
This guy.
I was trying to protect myself from getting doxxed. I like her just fine, okay? I'm not a fucking barb, all right? I'm myself.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Listen
Moose.
to him, folks. Listen to him.
I'm myself.
Liar. He's a liar.
I
He's the
speak for
liar. I
myself.
told you, I'm the only sane one on
I
the show.
speak for myself. And I was in the context of that conversation, I was more of a barb than you were.
That's not what happened. He's getting real Trumpian right now. We got the footage, bro. We can replay the audio. We know what was said.
It was meant to be like in the context of this episode, I'm a barb.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, just like that. That man was being sarcastic, right?
Who? What man?
You know, the orange man.
I'm not responsible for the actions of our United States elected officials. What the hell? I don't know that man. And I don't owe
I'm just
that
eating
man.
Gushers now.
What are you, Wayne, on the Drought 3 outro?
No, he was eating
Gummy bears.
gummy bears. He was eating gummy bears. And in fact, he was like eating gummy bears and shit. That's how he said it. And then he had to get like his whole face replaced before he went to jail.
Mm.
Probably because he was eating gummy bears and shit. But, you know, hey.
That's what we do.
Eminem, if you're listening, you made it to the end. Good album. It's good. Not bad.
It's not the end. We still got another track to review.
Man, that... Well, okay, no, I do like that. It's an outro.
Eminem, if you're listening, you should have stopped Nicki Minaj from saying "ruh, ruh," like a dungeon dragon on that other song.
Isn't that Daniel's favorite song on his list?
No, the truffle butter.
Oh, okay. It was on his list, though. I do recall.
Yeah.
Horrible song.
I don't disagree. I think her first two albums suck ass, to be honest with you. I think her last two are good. Pink Print and The Queen. I like them both.
Never heard him.
I'm a free thinker.
Oh, you know what? All right. Can we end on that note? Because I don't want you free thinking anymore.
Let's say goodbye to the third member of Rap Rankings. The Red
does he
Man
have
to our
any-
Wu-Tang.
Does he have any plugs, or did he get those out of the way at the beginning?
Well, do
you
more
can
plugs
follow
if you
me
want.
on Twitter. It doesn't make a difference. Follower counts don't matter. Twitter,
This is true.
Instagram, same name, from Old Harlem, and look out for that that top 50 podcast soon.
Top 50 podcast, and we'll shout it out on the show once it's live.
Eminem is number
Make sure.
31. Nicki Minaj doesn't make it. Charles Hamilton doesn't make it.
All right, but Mools and
man.
Mel are 51 and 52.
That is not true. That's not confirmed.
Well,
It's not
we'll just
confirmed.
listen. If you're a true MC, you want to think that. If you know already, you haven't made the list. You want to think, well, I probably just, got edged out by one
Right.
person.
Yeah, there were a lot of guys better than Blase Pinterest.
Oh my goodness.
Blase Pinterest. All right.
That was a
folks.
move line, I think.
Is
It's
this true?
This is true. It's on Animal.
I know my move lyric.
That's called motherfucking bars, nigga. You know nothing about that.
All right.
Mel knows
folks,
nothing about it.
I know nothing about that, thankfully. I guess we'll see y'all for this final track.
Track
coming
20.
Up.
Curtains
Yeah.
close.
Thanks again to Jesse from Old Harlem coming through, shutting the spot down. And this has been another guest spot here on Rap Rankings, the only show. Are you
Well,
gonna
I'm
let
the
me do
third
that?
member.
You are the third member. I was
That's
going to
the only
steal
show
your
I'm
bit,
the third
though,
member.
Moose. Oh,
I
okay,
was
sure.
waiting. I was
The
waiting
only
for you to
show-
steal the bit.
Where Jesse's the third member. No, I won't steal your bit. I'll let Jesse remix it.
All right,
All right,
fair
folks. See you after the break. Yo, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all the other episodes, stop by raprankings.com or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform.